had only been to Mexico and the US, and because I was born in Mexico and lived in Mexico and then moved to the States. But other than that, I hadn't been like abroad. I'm also the first one in my family to study abroad. I first got interested in studying abroad because one of my sister's friends, she spent a whole year studying abroad in Austria. And when she came back, she shared her experience, even like sharing it through Instagram. It made me want to do it too. I didn't know where I wanted to go, but I wanted to study abroad during college. But unfortunately, being a STEM major, being a chemistry major, and being also pre-med didn't always make it easy for me to consider studying abroad. And this was because whenever I would reach out to like my college advisors or like my major advisors, they would sometimes seem like it would be discouraging sometimes because it seemed as if I was gonna be held back. But there's so many STEM classes that are offered abroad, and I wish I knew this before. There's also a lot of pre-med classes that are accepted for medical school while you study abroad. So if you're thinking that it's gonna hold you back, think about it again and maybe reach out to the study abroad office, because they have a lot of different programs that can meet your needs and you won't fall behind. I actually initially wanted to spend a whole year or even a semester abroad, but because I didn't do it soon enough, I started thinking about studying abroad until like my junior year. And I think I wish I had done it before, just because a lot of my GE classes, or I didn't have as much flexibility to be able to stay a whole year or even a semester. So my only option was to spend a summer abroad. And hello, I'm back. Sorry, I got disconnected. I think my Wi-Fi went out, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You can share your screen.
I'm going to share my screen again. Sorry about this. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see now.
Okay, perfect. So as I was saying, I was going to study abroad in Spain in 2020, but things didn't really happen that way. And then for 2021, that was pretty much my last summer at Fresno State. And that was going to be my last summer, or like my last chance to study abroad. And thanks to Marcella and the study abroad office, I was able to study in Thailand. I had to do like a petition to be able to study abroad. I was still going to study abroad in Spain for 2021, but my program got canceled like in April, and it didn't really get canceled, but it got placed into level 4 travel advisory. And so that's like some levels that the US puts into other countries to advise people to travel or not to travel, if it's safe or not. So Spain got a place into level 4. So pretty much because I had gotten a scholarship, the scholarship was not allowing me to study abroad at a level 4 country. So the only other program that was available was Thailand, because back then it was the only USAC program with a level 2 advisory level. So that's pretty much why I chose Thailand. And it might seem as a backup plan, but I just wanted to go somewhere. And I looked into the program, and they offer a class that I was very interested in, which is Thai medicine. So I was just like, okay, let me just go here, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have an amazing experience. But I do want to clarify that it was not my first choice, but I think that things happen for a reason, and I am so grateful that I was able to go to Thailand. And I mean, I hope I one day be able to go to Spain, but I think things happen for a reason, and I enjoyed my time in Thailand despite the COVID situation. And I also chose to go because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I didn't speak the language, so I knew it was going to be a completely different experience. I initially wanted to go to Spain because I spoke the language. I speak Spanish, but going to Thailand was completely out of my comfort zone. So that was something that I was looking forward to. So now I want to talk a little bit about my program. So the location of my study abroad program was Chiang Mai in Thailand. And the program I did was through the University Studies Abroad Consortium, which is short, USAC for short. USAC is an award-winning international education provider. It has provided affordable and valuable study abroad programs since 1982. And right here, there's a map of Thailand. Chiang Mai is known as the Rose of the North, and is actually located on the Ping River in northern Thailand, and it dates back over 700 years. It is surrounded by a lot of mountains, and it has a lot of scenic areas in the country, a lot of scenic areas. The climate in Chiang Mai, it's still very humid, but it's not as humid as other places in Thailand. It's still a lot of rain, and it's still a lot of tropical heat, and again, humidity. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to stay, we had to do a 14-day quarantine in Bangkok, which you can also see in that map. Bangkok and Chiang Mai are about 362 miles away from each other. And then on the map, you can also see Phuket, which is one of the very famous islands in Thailand. I didn't have a chance to go there, but I'll explain that a little later. In my location, I did my program was the summer session 2 program for the USAC Chiang Mai Thailand program. And it started in July 4th. That's when I left, and I came back on August 13th. So I actually, for my trip, I made a stop in South Korea, which was really nice to stop there. The airport was really nice, and it was a long trip, but it was worth it. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the host university. It was Chiang Mai University, and right here is a picture of my my friends that I met in Thailand, and some of the videos. I'm going to play them right now. I don't think you can hear them, but this sound doesn't really matter. I just wanted to share. So in a few days after we had arrived to Thailand, we went on a tour to the university, but the university is so big that sometimes you feel like you never left the city when you're already in the university. So the university is part of the city, which is really nice. And we also had to wear uniforms. So right here in the picture, you can see us wearing uniforms. I actually really liked them. When I was living in Mexico and going to school over there, I had to wear uniforms, and I liked them. And so going to Thailand and using uniforms reminded me of my time when I was living in Mexico. So that was nice. It was very interesting. And in Mexico, people don't use uniforms for university, but it was interesting that in Thailand, you also use uniforms during university. So it was really interesting and really nice. And I really loved being able to just walk and be at the university already. So that was really nice. And so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the course that I took. There are more courses offered. And actually, the Thai medicine class was only offered in Chiang Mai during the time of the summer that I went to, because it's usually offered at a different location in Thailand. But I was really happy that I did this class. I wish I had taken Thai language classes. Some of my friends did take some of those classes, but I didn't. I wanted to have a little more time to explore the city, but from my friends' experiences, it seemed like it was a really fun class, and it was really nice to learn like the language from their perspective, but I didn't get a chance to fully learn the language. I think I only learned how to say hi and how to say thank you in Thai. And so if you were stressed about not knowing the language, I do encourage you to take a language class if you do study abroad. But if you do not do that, that's okay too. You can get by. So it was a very hands-on experience, the traditional Thai medicine class. It was a very fun and relaxing. So we would start doing like a yoga class at the very beginning. It was like about, I don't know, 6 hours long, and we would only have it like mainly on Fridays. A lot of the theory, we took it during the quarantine period. So when we were quarantining in Bangkok, we were also taking classes, and it was mainly just theory. And it was very interesting. As a pre-med student, it was very interesting to learn or like discover this other side of medicine that we don't really see in the States, or we don't see it as much. And it was really nice. I also got to learn about the Thai element theory. So I was right here, the picture, this one is Dr. Rampa, which was our professor. She would assign or like read us, tell us what element we were, and I wine element, sorry. And right here we did some, we were doing medicine balls. Right here Dr. Rampa was using it with Atziri, which was one of the USAC coordinators. And right here we were doing some peels, which was really fun to make. And we also did some essential oils. And my favorite part about this was the yoga class at the beginning, because it would set a mood really nice. And something that I learned or that stuck out to me from this class was that we don't need to go like in a rush. Usually in the States, everything is like fast, everything is in a rush. And over there, everything's so much slower. Like you take time to do everything and to process things, and they value a lot like resting and taking care of yourself. And I think that's something that whole people's beliefs in regard to medicine, how different treatments can achieve different things. So that was really nice, especially as a pre-med student. And I know my connection is a little unstable, and so now I want to talk a little bit about the living situation. And it's usually like we had our own room. Sometimes students also get a chance to with a host family. So in my case, we were staying at the Green Niman residence. So this is also part of the university, but it's similar to dorms, but it's not the dorms from the university. I had a balcony, which was really nice. It was very spacious. The room was very spacious. And I really liked that it was like just my own room, because I think my group and everything for like the whole day, but it was nice to just come back to the room and rest and just be by myself. I'm a very introverted person, so I enjoy time with myself too. The staff were really nice at the Green Niman Center of Residence. The only thing that I didn't enjoy as much was that it didn't have like a communal kitchen. So, I mean, it was nice that I was eating out all the time, which is very affordable. But I also sometimes I would buy fruit or things that I wanted to cook, and it would have been nice to be able to cook. But again, food is very affordable. And something that I love of the location is that there were lots of cafes nearby. Chiang Mai has tons and tons of cafes. And right here in the picture, you can see the Near More Space. I love that food market. It's so near where I was staying at. So just give me a second. Sorry about that. And so, yeah, I really liked that it was so close to a lot of things. I usually walk to things that were nearby, but we would also take what it's called a red truck to like places where it was more farther away or longer distances. And so now I want to talk a little bit about some of the. I didn't take the Thai language class in Thailand, and I don't speak Thai, so there was a language barrier, especially with people with those from like older generations. As they're presenting, we had Thai buddies, so that was really nice. And because most of them spoke English, so it was really nice to communicate with them, especially because they were around our age, so that was nice too. But I still face a lot of language barrier when trying to communicate with older people, or like when I would go to the night markets and I didn't know how to say like or how to ask how much it was, or I faced a little bit more challenges than some of my friends who were taking the class. So I wish I was taking the class, or I wish I took the class. I also experienced some cultural shock, but I think as long as you're open-minded and you're trying to learn as much as of the culture, and you're just open to learning, and this goes away. It was a nice culture shock in some ways too. So just know that everyone or most people experience cultural shock when they go somewhere else. So it's okay. And then I also experienced homesickness, especially during quarantine. Being by yourself for 14 days without being able to go out, get out of your room, can be very lonely. And I felt that it was never gonna end. Sometimes I would ask myself, like, why did I do this? Like I felt like I was regretting it just because I was in quarantine. At the beginning, I had some stomach issues. The food was not like I was having a lot of what is it called? Issues with my stomach, I guess. Yeah. And so the food was really good, but it was not sitting well in my stomach. So that was not nice. And my grandpa passed in May. So going up and being alone during those 14 days, it was a lot of crying sometimes too. And it's okay. It was nice to have others that were going through the same process, going through the whole quarantine process. And it was like a small support system with the other USAC students. So that was nice. And also the USAC staff, they were really nice too. And I was able to order a lot of food from this app called Food Panda, which was really nice too. Even though I was not able to go outside, food could come to my dorm. So that was nice. Another challenge was that the restrictions change all the time, and this was mainly because of COVID. So sometimes it was very stressful because we wanted to do a lot of things and wanted to visit a lot of like the very touristic attractions, but a lot of them were closed, or they would get closed as soon as we wanted to go to them. So that was very frustrating. But I think having like the support system of the other USAC students helped, and also having an open mind that if you decide to go to study abroad while during the whole COVID pandemic, like realize that it's not gonna be like what people used to do before COVID in that specific country. But it's okay. You can still learn a lot from the country, and you can still do a lot of things. At least from Thailand, we were able to still do a lot of things, not as much as other people before, but as long as you make the best of whatever situation you have, then you will have fun still. And another thing is that domestic travel was restricted. So before, students were able to travel like on their weekends to, like, let's say Phuket, which is an island in southern Thailand. But this time, all the travel, like even when we got out of quarantine, that was like the last time we were able to travel, to do domestic travel via airplane. So everything else was just through like ground transportation, and it takes a lot of hours, and it can even be more costly just because you have to find like a lot of the travel was very restricted, and it was very hard to travel within the country. So it was hard to do side trips that weren't within like Chiang Mai. And there was a lot of uncertainty because things were changing because of COVID. Just I had a lot of fear of getting COVID-19 while being abroad, but this is also something that people might experience during COVID, but also knowing that I had insurance while being abroad, that was nice to know. And like, it was, even though I was with fear, it was also nice to know that I had coverage in case something like that happened, and that USAC was going to take care of me too. And now I just want to share a little bit about some more fun stuff. So some of the food markets, temples, and coffee shops. Like I said, Chiang Mai is full of markets, temples, and coffee shops. Right here, I'm sharing just a little bit about those things that I was able to see and go to. So I went to some temples. It gets like it's nice still to go, but then you still want to do other things. But I really love the temples. Like my favorite one was this one where I'm wearing like white. It was just really nice. And I actually went by myself there. So don't ever be afraid to go on your own on like small solo trips. I was okay with going here by myself just because it was within Chiang Mai. And I knew I asked the program coordinators to help me out to find this place. But it was really nice to go to temples, and it was a really nice experience. I also loved going to food markets and also getting like lots of fresh fruits and veggies. We had a small refrigerator, so I was able to keep those fresh, and I just loved it. It was like a farmer's market, and I also loved going to cafes, and we would study there, just hang out there, get coffee, desserts. So that was nice. I also got to try some interesting things while abroad. So I don't think we can hear. So this is another thing that I tried. I was super careful not to put a lot into my stomach, but I did wanted to try some interesting things. So that was really nice, and it was really fun. Okay, and now I want to talk a little bit about, even though I was not able to do like the typical things that other people would do without COVID restrictions, like we weren't able to go to one of the national parks in Chiang Mai, which was really sad, but we made other experiences, which was really nice. So we went kayaking at the river, and it was really nice. This was my second time kayaking, so I'm not the best at doing this, but it was just really nice to bond with my friends. Right here is George, who is one of the Thai buddies, and it was just really nice. And I think being positive into that maybe not everything is going to be able to be possible during COVID. Like you're not going to be able to do a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of things that you can still do. And I think it was nice because even going to the food markets, there was not a lot of people. It was only like us, like that was nice because there was not a lot of people. But then when looking at videos in YouTube of Thailand, you see that there's a lot of people in the food markets, especially like out of like people that are not from Thailand going to Thailand. And like during COVID, it was mainly us. It was us, like the outsiders. So it was nice because everyone's so nice in Thailand. The people there are so nice, and it was very welcoming and really nice. And I really loved going kayaking. And right here we were eating actually on the river. So that was a really nice experience and very different experience. And another highlight a whole more like almost a week or a little bit over a week. And I went with one of my friends from the USAC program, Kristen, to Koh Chang, which is an island. It's the third largest island in Chiang Mai. And it was very difficult to plan this trip because of the transportation issues, the staff at USAC, they really helped us figure out, because initially we wanted to go to Phuket, but because of that, the whole issues with transportation, we weren't able to. And this was a closer island that we were able to go to. And right here I have a USAC t-shirt, and it pretty much says live without regrets, learn without borders, study abroad USAC. So if you have questions about the USAC program, just let me know. I'll share my email later. And I think I skipped this once. Okay, sorry about this. Some other highlights were that we got to go to an elephant sanctuary. And if you go and visit, or if you want to go into seeing elephants, make sure that it's a sanctuary. And so it was a really nice experience. We got to bathe them, we fed them. Disclaimer, I did not ride on them. So just make sure that you go to an elephant sanctuary. That the one that we went to, right here, you can see that they focus on rescuing elephants, recovering and reproduction, and also reintroduction. So make sure that you go into an elephant sanctuary. It was a really nice experience, and I really loved it. It was a great way to connect with nature and also connect with these amazing animals, and also connect with my friends from the USAC program. And I think that's one of the things we did it right after we got to Chiang Mai. And after that, a lot of restrictions started to happen. So it was really nice to actually be able to go to this, because after this, I was like, I don't care what else gets canceled. I already did this, which was something that I was really looking forward to. Another highlight was that we were able to do a trip to Chiang Rai, which is one of the neighboring districts. We were able to visit the Golden Triangle, which is pretty much where Laos, Myanmar, and in Thailand meet on one of the rivers. So that was really nice. And then we also went to the Black House Temple, which was very different from the other temples that I saw in Thailand. It was more, it was like more of the dark side of the temples. And it's actually the dark side of the White Temple, which we weren't able to go inside because of the whole COVID pandemic. The White Temple is very touristic, and they only allowed us to see it from the outside, which was really sad, but it was nice to actually be able to see it. We also went to the Blue Temple, which was really nice. Everything there, it's pretty much blue, it's in gold. And so that was really, really nice. And to see the difference in architecture from the different temples, that was really nice too. And we also got to go to the Hall of Opium Museum, which was very interesting. And it gave me an insight on how the opioid pandemic, interesting in history of how opium has affected in Thailand, and we also went to a tea plantation, which was really nice, very colorful, and the tea was really, really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. Right here, we were just trying out teas. It was really interesting to see how they did it, because I never seen it before, so that was really nice. Or like when I prepare tea, I do it differently, so it was really nice to see how it's actually prepared. So that was nice. And I bought some tea to bring home too, so that was really nice. And this is just the pictures of kayaking, Koh Chang. And now I just want to share a little bit about what I gained. So I gained COVID restrictions and changes. So I became very adaptable to change. I became open-minded to more things, to different cultures. I also gained problem-solving skills. And something that I'm so happy that I gained was lifelong friendships. Right here, I'm just sharing some pictures of the friends that I made while abroad. I actually got to meet with some of my friends here in this picture that we met in Sacramento. So that was really nice. And we met like a month, and we're actually planning a reunion trip. Like I always heard people saying like you make lifelong friendships from studying abroad, but I was always scared, especially being someone who is a little introverted. It was an amazing experience, and that's something that I took with me the most, or that stuck with me the most, was how amazing people are and the friendships that you build there. Like it's amazing, especially I think with the whole COVID situation and quarantine, we got so close. So that was really nice. I also got some patient skills. You really have to be patient in like all this COVID changes and COVID restrictions changes. You have to be patient, and also patient to older people too. And being flexible, I think being open to things that things are gonna change and being okay with it. It's something important. So I'm very happy that I got to build on my flexibility skills. And yes, here are some my pictures. And thank you. If you have any questions about Thailand or studying abroad, I also wanted to share that I was able to pay for my trip with scholarships. So if you have questions about how to email me, I can help you. I submitted an application for the Gilman Scholarship, and I was able to get it. I didn't use it for the Thailand program because of the changes. Thailand ended up changing to a level 3 travel advisory before I left, so they didn't allow me to use that money there. But I had a backup scholarship that I was able to use. So if you have any questions about scholarships, to help you. And now I'm going to share my friend's Chong's study abroad experience. She created a video, so I'm going to share that with you all. Let me know if you can hear it.
Hi everyone, my name is Chong.
Can you all hear it?
Today, after returning to Thailand, Atziri,
Yes, we're able to hear it.
my
Is it okay if I share it now, Marcelo?
Let's pause for a little bit and see if anyone has any questions before we move forward. Any questions for Atziri? You could unmute yourself. Any questions here for Atziri about Thailand or her experience? No? Okay, it seems like I don't.
Share this link. We can play.
Try to play the video and see if you is gonna be able to play right. Atziri?
Okay, I think someone has raised their hand.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hi, Atziri, thank you so much for your presentation. You had talked about experiencing some culture shock in a way that was positive and negative. Could you talk a little bit more about or give examples of what kind of produced culture shock for you?
Yes, I think the one of the things that was a little bit shocking was just how let me try to phrase this. Sorry. Just even like whenever I would go to temples, like taking off your shoes to be able to enter the temples. And that was a little bit shocking, but also interesting. Now that I came back, like I can't be with my shoes inside like my apartment, so that's interesting. I think I did share that it was like some positive and negative culture shocks, but I think it was just like an interesting culture shock. I like the infrastructure in the US is more modern than in Thailand, but I was also very open-minded. Coming or being born in Mexico, I knew there were already differences between Mexico and the US. And so going to Thailand was shocking, but at the same time, it was very interesting because I found a lot of similarities between Thailand and Mexico, which was nice for me. Also, the people are like, I'm not saying that the people in the States are not nice. It's just that in Thailand, everyone is, I don't know, like people are so nice that whenever you're passing by, they say pretty much hi in Thailand. in Thai, I'm sorry. And then that was like very interesting, just seeing how people interact with each other. I don't know if that answers your question. And I'm sorry if I can't go much in deep, but yeah, it was very interesting. And also the food, the difference in foods.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. That was helpful.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about weather? Also, were you guys affected at university by political instability in Myanmar?
Yes, so the weather, you said weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it rains a lot, so be prepared for that. But it's also nice. It's very humid, so I took like a straightener with me to be able to straighten my hair, but I never used it just because it's so humid that my hair would just be curly all the time. And so I would say don't even worry about it. Like your hair, it's gonna be okay. Like don't worry about it. It's very humid, so and it's very hot too, but it's not as hot as other places. When we went to Chiang Rai, it was way hotter and more humid. It rained from Chiang Mai. I've been to North Carolina before, and the weather was very similar, I think. And about political instability, I didn't get to see any of it. When I was in, I did read some of them, but no, not to an extent to like actually seeing it. But yeah, it was mainly because of the restrictions that were happening. Any other questions?
Go ahead and continue to play the video if there's no questions.
Can you stop sharing your screen and I will share the video?
You will share it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So this video is from the second student that study abroad. Her name is Chang Bang, and she did the full 2 months of the program. I think it's better if Atziri share it. Atziri, go ahead and share the screen and play the video, please.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And today I am
Can you
super
hear it?
excited to share some of the experiences that I had abroad. So on the screen here, there are 4 talks going to be about travels, quarantine in Bangkok. Second one is Chiang Mai and sharing the courses that I took abroad, the trips that I had. And the fourth one is my best experiences. In the background here, this is the picture of Angao. It's a part of the Chiang Mai University campus, and I love this place. So here is just a picture of me during quarantine. I didn't really have anything to do very much, so I took some pictures, and here's the flag, President's Day flag. And this is a picture of me with the vaccination card and passport. So first off, this is like my first time studying abroad and my first time being on a plane. So I was really excited, and it was really interesting to go through the process of traveling from here to all the way to Thailand. And the process of this is that there are 2 flights that we had to make. The first one is from LA to Korea, and then Korea to Thailand. Then we landed in Bangkok. And during this process, there are some few tips that I would like to share with you guys. The first one is to communicate with the others on where to meet up. And second one is to plan early at the airport, 1 or 2 hours ahead of time, because there may be times that maybe you forgot something or you forgot documentations, print stuff out, or you lost something. So having that 1 or 2 extra hours at the airport is actually very helpful. And so we finally landed at Bangsan Town, Bangkok. I think that's how you pronounce it. And we arrived in late evening, and we were greeted with flip-flops with the staff, along with all the information about quarantining. And I was really excited that they greeted us with flip-flops. That's actually the first thing that we do when we get there, is to change our shoes into flip-flops before we get into the building. Once we get into the building, there's actually a lot of goodies that they had on the table with us for us. There's waters, laundry detergent, shower necessities, and many more things that they had in the room for us. And I actually really like this hotel, this place, because I love my balcony. It's so beautiful. After 14 days of quarantine, we arrived in Chiang Mai. This is a picture of Jim and Sadie. They are the Thailand Youth SAC study abroad advisor. They picked us up at the airport. And we were also greeted with hotel staff, which I thought that was really sweet of them. After that, they took us to Maya Mall. This is a mall that everyone goes to in Chiang Mai with the red truck. This is the red truck that we traveled to Maya Mall, and basically most of your transportation is going to be using red truck. And this is my new scene from my balcony. And let me move my picture here. This is a picture of what the Smile Thailand Airlines gave us after we returned to Chiang Mai from Bangkok. And then this is what Jim and Sadie gifted us once we arrived there. And I thought these were really, really helpful. Next up is my experiences in Chiang Mai and the courses that we took. So I just want to share some of the courses I took, because I thought it might be helpful for you guys to pick some of the courses that might interest you guys. The 4 courses I took was social entrepreneurship. That's like the most informational class that I took, and I actually really like all the classes that I took. The second one is Buddhist psychology. That's the most educational about Thailand. The third one is Thai traditional medicine, the most exciting hands-on experience. And actually, here are some pictures that we made in the class. This is like a bag of tea here, a massage balm, and oil balm. But this is not massage. This is a massage. Yeah. And then the last one is Thai language. If you have not thought about taking Thai language, I would really encourage you guys to take Thai language, because it will be really helpful for you guys when you guys are actually out there trying to buy some stuff, or trying to communicate with the locals, or just with your friends and the Thai students, because it would be the most and the most entertaining class you will take. And we also have a campus tour, even though we weren't able to go to or attend Chiang Mai University. This is a picture of the front of Chiang Mai University, a picture of the bus area, and again, a picture of Angkau. Angkau, if you have not know, or if you haven't heard yet or know about it, And Gale is a place where a lot of young people or students actually, and also it is also open to the public. A lot of people will go there just to hang out, just to walk, exercise, to eat food, picnic, or even play guitar and play music out there. I really like this place. It's very friendly. And then lastly, I have a picture of Chiang Mai University Library here. Even though we weren't able to go in because of COVID, I just took a picture of it from the outside. And then here are some trips that we were able to make despite we're studying abroad and being a student. We didn't really just study all the time or do homework all the time. We were able to make some trips and find some free time. So one of the trips that we had is we went to Doi Pui, that is up in the mountains where the Hmong people live. So this picture right here is where we were at the flower garden. And then this picture is me being in front of Doi Pui Museum, the Hmong Museum. And here are some extra trips that we took. This picture is me. We were at the Jungle de Cafe. They have like all these little beds for everyone. I thought it was really nice and very comfortable area to be in. This place is called Pongyang Jungle, coasters and zip line. We also went to zip line and also have some drinks and desserts after that. I also had the opportunity to go visit the old city. This is a picture of me here. And then there's a picture of me with the elephants. I love elephants. So, and this is a picture at the Jungle de Cafe. And then during the time, studying abroad in Thailand, we were able to have that 1 week vacation, and we chose to go to Koh Phangan Island, where it took us like hours and hours, I think possibly a day to get there, because we had to take like a boat, or not boat, I think it's called boat. It would take us from where we are to another island. And so here's a picture of us scuba diving. And this is all the summer session 1 friends, international friends. And at our resort, or the place that we stay, this is the view from it. It's really nice. And this is the area where we went scuba diving. We were able to find some time to travel to Chiang Rai. And Chiang Rai is very known, well-known area where they have a lot of temples. But because I don't have very much space on here, I only have one picture of the temple here, but this is the white temple. We also visit like the blue temple and the black temple and many other temples as well. You can check those out. The area that we stay was up in the mountain. So here's the picture up here, mountain, to get some food and just to travel and sightsee. There were actually a lot of arts on the way there, and it's really beautiful. And then we ended the night with drinking some tea at this place where the people, or the owner of this place, was really nice. They that have us pay the tea that they gave us. It was really nice, actually. And then the last is I want to share some of my best experiences studying abroad. One of the best experiences that I have studying abroad is meeting the Hmong Club of Chiang Mai University. It was actually an original plan that I want to come to Thailand and connect with the people, with the Hmong people, just so I can get some connection with some history backgrounds where my parents came from, and just try to have that interaction with them, how the differences of them living there and the differences of how they speak Hmong and the way how I speak Hmong. Here's a picture of us. I actually was really excited and that I was able to provide this lunch or late lunch or dinner with the Hmong Club. Here's a picture of us here. And I was able to donate some masks and some hand sanitizer, and my international friends and myself, we were able to like donate some stuff that we weren't able to take home because our bags are too full. And so I asked them to, give me some donations, and so I can donate them to the Hmong Club. And they actually really like it. It was really helpful, and I'm glad that they found it very helpful as well. And also, this is a picture of them and us eating. And then one of the Hmong friends that I met was really nice. And so he actually helped me travel to Meiring, to his village up in the mountain. And this is a picture of where he lived, or the picture of the village. And I actually had a really great time there because the area was much more renovated than I thought it would be, because I thought that Hmong people would like live in straw houses and bamboo houses, but no, it was totally different. And they actually have like a place or a hotel where people can go in and rest and travel and stay there. It's kind of like a homestay, well. And if you are interested to go there to visit or just to travel, this is their page. And here are some extra pictures of the friends that I made abroad. This is a picture of one of my classes. The professor, I think Buddhist psychology professor, his daughters, that we were able to go out, hang out at the mall, and eat dinner with them. It was really nice to meet them. This is me in Atziri with the flag at Doi Mountain. Another friends going to Meiring, and this is my other friends who cooked for me while I was there, and some other international friends and Thai buddies. And I was able to make some solo travels in the last 2 weeks, and I thought it was a really great experience because I was able to create an independent college student lifestyle away from home, which I have been wanting to have for a long time now. And other than that, I also have like a set schedule for me to do every day. So in the morning, I would go to the gym and exercise, and then after that, I would go to the cafe just to study or do my homework, and then I would meet up with my friends or Hmong Thai friends. This is a picture of me going to Make Cafe, and this is the scene in front of me. It's really nice and beautiful. And here is some information of where you can see more information or see more picture of my experiences going to Thailand. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me at chonghang@mail.fresnostate.edu.
So that was it for Chang's video, but if anyone has, she's not here, but if anyone has a question regarding Thailand, let me know.
Any last minute questions? I know that we run it at a time. Any questions for Atziri before we log out?
I saw a question on the chat.
Okay.
It's asking, the temples you visited, were they all Buddhist temples or were they from other religions? So the temples were all Buddhist temples, but I did have a chance to visit some, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on it, but yeah, I was able to visit some other, it's not a temple, but just like a church, I guess, yeah.
Just a quick question of reflection, Atziri. I know that it was one of the things that you've been postponing because of COVID. Do you feel that this experiencing taking the medicine course in Thailand is gonna be impacted or helpful for your future career as a doctor?
Yes, I'm actually really glad that I got to do this program and this internship, and I mean, not internship, study abroad program and this class, because as a future physician, I do want to take care of the patient as a whole, and I want to make sure that I respect their beliefs, whatever that is. And like, for example, my mom, she is very big on home remedies, and so I want to make sure that, and that's something that I was able to see through my class in Thailand, not the modern medicine, but more of the traditional medicine. And so it was very nice to see how Thailand like has like a mix of both of them. Traditional medicine goes hand in hand with modern medicine. So that was really nice. And I think that's something that I'm going to take on as a future physician, making sure that I respect that from my patients and making sure that I treat them holistically as a whole person, and like their needs are met in different ways.
Great. I'm glad that you have a bright future ahead of you, Atziri. Thank you for coming back to Fresno State and sharing your experience. I know that you already graduated and you're making time to share your experience, so I really appreciate that. So let's take a traditional picture. So how about open your mic? If it doesn't, anyone have any comment, let's open your mic and let's take a traditional picture. Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds. Okay, big smile for those that are in the camera. All right. Thank you everyone for coming today. Don't forget the next week is our last coffee hour of the semester, and we're gonna have a presentation about Mozambique. So be here with us. Also, if you have been attending regularly, we are gonna be highlighting and thanking in public those who have been attending to coffee hour every week of this semester. So have a good week and see you next week. Happy Tuesday.